vast hidden sea caves and secluded beaches that can only be seen from the water. If you ever get the chance, it's a place you absolutely must try to see in real life. Number 12. Milford Sound, New Zealand. Milford Sound is a natural wonder located on the west coast of New Zealand's South Island. It's a fjord that's famous for its stunning scenery, which includes towering cliffs, cascading waterfalls, and a wide range of marine life. And as a result, it's one of the most popular natural formations in the country. The towering cliffs here are what it's best known for, and act as steep walls that rise from the water to create a dramatic landscape. These cliffs are covered in vegetation and provide home for a variety of wildlife, including seals, penguins, and dolphins. One of the best times to be in Milford Sound is during sunrise or sunset, as the colors of the skies and cliffs come alive with a kaleidoscope of reds, oranges, and yellows. The waters of Milford Sound are some of the best that you'll find in New Zealand, and they're enhanced by the frequent rainfalls in the region that create countless cascades that tumble down the cliffs and into the water. The most famous of these waterfalls is the Stirling Falls, which is one of the largest in the country and plunges over 500 feet and creates an ominous mist that adds to this area. In many ways, it's the isolation of Milford Sound that really adds to the sense of being in the wilderness, and it's only accessible by boat or plane, which creates a sense of remoteness and tranquility that's hard to find in other parts of the world. Once you're there, you can explore by boat, by kayak, or on foot to take in the surroundings your own way, or there are regular cruises through the area if you prefer to be guided around. Number 11. Arashiyama Bamboo Grove, Japan. Kyoto in Japan is a major attraction in the country because of its rich history, but on the outskirts you'll find one of the most beautiful natural wonders in the world. Arashiyama Bamboo Grove is part of the scenic Arashiyama district, which is an area known for its natural beauty, temples, and historical sites. Walking through the bamboo path, visitors are covered in a cool green light as the sun filters through the dense canopy of bamboo high above. The route stretches for just over half a kilometer or a third of a mile and winds its way through the forest, offering a peaceful escape from the hustle and bustle of life. While it may be visually spectacular, it's the sound of the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove that surprises most people, with the bamboo stalks swaying and creaking in the breeze. This sound has been described as being one of the 100 soundscapes of Japan by the Japanese government in an attempt to encourage people to appreciate the beautiful sounds of nature. The bamboo grove is used for many purposes too. It's harvested to make various products, including baskets, cups, and mats, and a continuing tradition of the sustainable practices that have been part of Japan's tradition for centuries. Number 10. Valle de la Luna, Atacama Desert, Chile. The Valle de la Luna, or the Valley of the Moon, is a place within the Atacama Desert in northern Chile. It's a landscape so surreal and otherworldly that it almost feels as if you've been transported to another planet. The valley, which is part of the Los Flamencos National Reserve, is covered in sand dunes, jagged rock formations, and vast salt flats that are just like you'd imagine the moon to be. And as the backdrop of the Atacama, which is the driest desert on Earth, this unique landscape has been sculpted over millions of years by water and wind. At sunset in particular, the valley is lit up with vibrant hues of red, orange, and pink, making it an even more eerie place than during the day. One of the most famous features here is the Great Dune, a massive sand dune that, when you climb to the top, gives amazing views of the valley below. The valley is also home to several salt caves formed by the evaporation of ancient lakes, which visitors can explore to discover the intricate patterns and formations left by crystallized salt. Along with being a place that attracts visitors, it's also an important site for researchers looking deep into the Earth's history, as the dry climate and saline soil has preserved a record of climatic and tectonic events, giving scientists insights into the geological processes that have shaped our planet. Number 9. The Dansha Landform Geological Park in China. The Dansha Landform Geological Park here is another place where the landscape is rich with color thanks to an unusual geological phenomenon in the way that the rock was formed. Located mainly in the provinces of Gansu, Guangdong, Hunan, and Fujian, the word Dansha translates to mean rosy cloud, and the region's famous for its vibrant red cliffs. These are all the result of sedimentary processes and weathering on red sandstone and types of rock that date back to the Cretaceous period. Over time, erosion by wind and water has carved out the landscape, and it's cut through the layers of sedimentary rock that vary in color. It's created stunning patterns and hues that range from deep reds to yellows and oranges. Here, the landscape has a series of colorful, layered rock formations that look more like a painting than nature. The effect is further enhanced at sunrise and sunset when the light casts a soft glow on the hills. If you're ever able to visit one of the Danshell landform geological parks, you'll be able to explore lots of different features, such as dramatic cliffs, odd rock formations, and panoramic views. The park offers a series of viewpoints and walking trails that allow for close-up exploration of the natural wonders. And it's an experience that's not only visually impressive, but it really gives you a sense of the power of geological forces over the ages. Number 8. The Skeleton Coast, Namibia. The Skeleton Coast, which stretches from the Kunene River up in the north to the Ugab River in the south, is one of Namibia's most famous regions. This empty shoreline that's on the edge of the Namib Desert is an unforgiving place, known for dense fog, ferocious waves, and windswept dunes that meet the Atlantic. Its name, Skeleton Coast, conjures images of shipwrecks and bones, and it was given to it because of the huge number of vessels that have wrecked on the shores over the years. Surprisingly though, you might expect this place to be completely devoid of life, but it's actually the complete opposite. Desert-adapted elephants, lions, and hyenas roam the dunes, where sparse vegetation manages to survive on the moisture brought in by the fog. The ocean here teems with life, including seals, dolphins, and a variety of birds, making the coast a strange blend of life and struggle. Access to the Skeleton Coast is now highly restricted to protect its fragile environment and the shipwrecks that have become part of the landscape, with the northern part of the coast, known as the Skeleton Coast National Park, only accessible by a few designated safaris, offering visitors a unique opportunity to experience the untouched beauty and solitude of this stark landscape. Moving on to number 7, the Avenue of the Baobabs, Madagascar. Madagascar is known for being one of the more unusual places in the world thanks to the way that the island separated from the mainland many millions of years ago, so life there has evolved independently of everywhere else. Featuring a number of geological oddities, every part of the country is unbelievable in its own way, but there's one road that's unlike anything you'll ever driven along, the Avenue of the Baobabs. Near the city of Morondava on the western coast of Madagascar, it's a striking collection of towering baobab trees, which are among the most ancient living beings on the planet, some estimated to be over 800 years old. These trees are endemic to Madagascar, and their imposing presence along the dirt road creates a setting that's truly unique. The avenue is made up of around 25 to 30 trees that lining an 850-foot stretch of dirt track. Now, these baobabs can reach heights of up to 100 feet, with massive trunks that can measure up to 36 feet in circumference. These giant trees are often referred to as the roots of the sky by locals, and they've created what is now one of the most photographed sites in Madagascar. While tourists may see trees, it's much more to the locals than that. The baobabs are seen as a link to their ancestors and are often associated with the local legends and beliefs. In respect of this, conservation efforts have been imposed to preserve the site. With ongoing projects aimed at expanding this protection to ensure the survival of these ancient trees for future generations, it's hoped that one day the avenue will have more healthy baobabs growing alongside it. Tourists are still encouraged to visit though, because this helps raise the much-needed funds to help preserve the area, and also the awareness of the beauty of this part of Madagascar. In many ways, it's just the start of the amazing journey any visitor will have in the country, and why it's rightfully seen as one of the most important places in the world. Number 6. Plitvice Lakes National Park, Croatia. The Plitvice Lakes National Park is a natural wonder located in the heart of Croatia, known for its strikingly beautiful lakes, waterfalls, and cascading streams. This UNESCO World Heritage Site covers an area of over 114 square miles, and it's home to 16 interconnecting lakes that are situated at different altitudes. This national park is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Croatia, and it attracts millions of people every year. It's divided into two main areas, the upper lakes and the lower lakes. The upper lakes are at a higher altitude and surrounded by a dense forest, while the lower lakes are down in a valley and are surrounded by lush green vegetation. Amazingly, the lakes change color throughout the day, depending on the angle of the sun and the time of day, and sees them shift from being a deep blue or turquoise to emerald green, which makes for a truly mesmerizing experience. You'll be surrounded by beauty wherever you are here, but one of the most breathtaking sights in the park is the Veliki Slap waterfall, which cascades down from a height of over 250 feet, and it's the highest waterfall in Croatia. The sound of the water crashing down onto the rocks below is truly an unforgettable experience. As well as the lakes and waterfalls, the park's also home to a wide range of animal and plant life, including a large population of brown bears, wolves, lynx, and deer. With various different walking routes ranging from easy walks along the boardwalks to more challenging hikes that take visitors up into the hills, there's a way to take in the sights of the park for everyone, so it's no surprise it's one of the most visited places in Croatia. Number 5. Wadi Rum Protected Area, Jordan. Wadi Rum, which is in the southern part of Jordan, is a protected area that covers an incredible landscape that visitors can explore. Known for its towering red sandstone cliffs and stunning desert scenery, it's been called the Valley of the Moon because of its otherworldly appearance. These sandstone cliffs that surround Wadi Rum are truly amazing things to see, with the red rock formations rising dramatically from the desert floor, creating a stunning backdrop. The highest peak, Jabal Adami, stands at over 5,900 feet and provides breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape. It's also famous for its expansive desert terrain with rolling sand dunes that stretch for miles and create a surreal landscape unlike anything you'll ever see. Visitors can explore the desert on foot, by jeep, or even on camelback, and take advantage of a number of planned hiking trails that wind through the desert and offer more stunning views. In addition to the natural beauty, it's also steeped in history. The area has been inhabited for thousands of years, and visitors can explore a number of ancient ruins and archaeological sites. One of the most famous is the Nabatean people, which was once a major religious center, and throughout all the formations there's also a lot of rock art, ancient petroglyphs and inscriptions that date back those thousands of years. The carvings here provide a glimpse into the area's rich cultural and historical heritage, and offer a unique window into the past. Number 4. Lake Bled, Slovenia. If you've ever wanted to step inside a fairy tale, then Lake Bled in Slovenia is the place for you. Looking like it's been taken out of the pages of a storybook, it's hardly believable that it's a real place, but it most definitely is, and it's just as interesting as you'd hope. Set within the Julian Alps mountain range, it's a glacial lake that has incredible emerald green waters, and Bled Island at its center. On one of the cliffs overlooking the lake is the medieval Bled Castle, which when you see it surrounded with the forests and mountains, it truly makes one of the most magical places on Earth. The lake itself, which is over a mile long, is relatively small, but size isn't everything. The island is home to the Assumption of Mary Church, which is famous for its Baroque architecture, and a bell tower that rises majestically against the backdrop of the Alps, and according to legend, brings good luck to anyone who's fortunate enough to hear the bells. The castle on the island dates back more than 900 years, and it's the oldest castle in Slovenia. Originally used as a home for bishops, it's changed hands a number of times and was expanded over the years too, providing a safe refuge for anyone needing to escape invaders. If the lake wasn't enough to deter attackers, there's also a drawbridge over a moat around the castle, meaning you got little chance of getting in if you weren't invited. Today, the castle has a museum that details the lake's history and the interesting archaeological finds here, giving a closer look at the region's past and its importance. And you'll often see artists setting up with their easels trying to capture their own version of this stunning scenery in front of them. Because of all this, it probably comes as no surprise that this is the most popular tourist attraction in all of Slovenia, and one that authorities are now trying to carefully preserve so it's safe for future generations. To maintain peace and quiet, motorized water sports are, for example, restricted on the lake, and only a set number of people are allowed to be on the island at any one time. Number 3. The Okavango Delta, Botswana. There are plenty of places you can visit in Africa to have the opportunity to see some of the world's most amazing animals, but there's nowhere quite as stunning as the Okavango Delta in Botswana. This was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it covers an area of around 5,800 square miles, and it's made up of incredibly fertile land. This is because each year the river floods and releases a huge amount of water into the surrounding space. What's unique about it is that unlike most river deltas, which lead to the sea, the waters of the Okavango Delta spread out over the desert sands, creating a unique ecosystem. Because of this, it's also one of the only ones in the world that's not connected to the ocean at all, so all the wetlands and marshes are entirely freshwater. This creates various different habitats such as permanent water channels, seasonal floodplains, and grasslands, savannas, and forests, giving plenty to explore. As far as animals go, it would be difficult to find anywhere with more species to encounter, and with so much lush vegetation and a large number of watering holes, it's one of the best places to see the continent's most impressive creatures, from cheetahs, lions, and leopards to black and white rhinos, zebras, and elephants. There's also more than 450 different species of birds, hundreds of different types of lizards, snakes, and fish, and if you're lucky, you may even see a Nile crocodile too. It's no wonder then that the region features a number of lodges and camps so you can base yourself in to explore the delta. And if you only have the opportunity to go on a safari once, this has surely got to be the place you gotta do it. Number 2. Vadu Island, Maldives. The Republic of Maldives is an archipelago made up of 26 atolls in the Indian Ocean to the southwest of India, and it's probably best known for being one of the most popular honeymoon retreats in the world. It's virtually a pristine island paradise with a wealth of wildlife in the surrounding waters, and this gives rise to one of the most stunning natural displays in the world: bioluminescent beaches. The phenomenon, which is commonly known as the Sea of Stars, can be seen clearest on one beach in particular that's on Vadu Island. There are certain times of the year when the conditions are just right. The sands glow blue as if it's reflecting the light from the heavens. The water too will glow when it's disturbed, which creates glorious nighttime displays in the surf. It's an incredible thing to see that can only truly be appreciated in real life, and is the result of a certain species of phytoplankton. These creatures have evolved to generate this natural glow for two main reasons. It helps them find one another to breed, and if they're captured by a predator, the light will shine through the stomach of whatever's eaten them, making it far more likely to be seen by an even larger predator itself, so the plankton will get the ultimate revenge. Of course, for us, this just means that whenever we make contact,
So has Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, stolen my heart away from Thailand? That is the question. Is this a place I now want to move and relocate my home base? Well, I want to talk about a few things. This is not so simple. I will say there's two factors, two major points of concern, and one is, where do I really want to live? Where do I enjoy living? And the other is, how do things perform on YouTube? How is my content received on YouTube? And ultimately, how much money can I make on YouTube in this location versus Thailand? So